Okay, I can't see what you see, but I hope that it's clear enough. Someone asked that I do a video on how I cut with two rulers. And so what I have now is two of my Omni Grid rulers. This is one of the ones that I shared in my video, a 3.5 by 24 inch. This looks crooked. Look at that. And this one is a 6 by 24. And so what you do is you first you got to try to, let me introduce this with a caveat. The caveat is I don't think any of this is perfect, because sometimes I look at these rulers and I honestly believe that these rulers are crooked. And sometimes the lines that are supposed to be perfect don't look perfect. So I don't sweat that. I just do the best that I can. So what you do first is you make sure you get you start with, I usually try to start with my fold, and that's because usually if you fold it and you smooth it out, the grains of your fabric just kind of lay. And I don't know what that terminology is, but it just happens. Okay, so what you do is you line up your, I so don't want to move this, but you can see here, you line up this bottom portion of your fabric with the line across one of the lines. It doesn't have to be any line in particular, but you just want it to go straight across so that it's a straight line. And I'm going to do it here. I'm at the 1 inch on this particular ruler. Now, for the first cut, you want your left hand side to be a clean line, and you decide how far you want to go over. I say that because you can scoot it all the way over to the edge, and if you see here, it'll be just a slither. You want to make sure that you cut both pieces, because this is only folded once, so it's two pieces of fabric. You want to make sure that you cut through both pieces when you do that clean cut, because then you will start measuring from that place on. But when I'm doing this type of project, I actually move my line over just a little bit and try to leave at least an half an inch, and that way I can use the rest of it for a scrap project if I wanted to. But right now I'm not, just because this is that block a month the quilt's along, and I don't know how much of this I'm gonna need, so I want to not have to buy more. So with all of that said, line up the bottom straight, and then we're gonna cut this side, the left hand side of our fabric, straight. So I'm just gonna go over just a little bit. And the reason why you can't see it but I can, these are not even. So when they were cut and given to me, it wasn't even. So I'm gonna line it up, and once I line it up, then I get the other ruler and I bump it against this ruler. So because you're bumping with another ruler, you want to make sure that you have enough overage here so that you can put them side by side. Here it's kind of difficult because I keep my supplies to my left, but I'm just gonna have to do what I have to do. That's the great thing about having this particular ruler, because it's not too wide. So then you take it and you bump it. When I bump it, because I'm doing the full width of the fabric, I don't have a lot of room. But usually what I do is I kind of do it like this a little bit. This is so not technical. I move it up and down just to ensure that the little bit of lip that's underneath the new ruler is flat and it's smooth, okay? And once you've done that, you have a clean line between the two. So then I move away the first ruler and I cut on the right side of the new ruler. You're gonna see me come by. Now what that does is it gives me a straight line. Now, once you have that straight line, you do your normal cutting. So I'm gonna just cut right now. I need to cut a 5-inch strip. So now what I will do is I line up the left-hand side of my ruler, or the left-hand side of my fabric on the 5-inch line. And then I cut. And because I need to do this for several blocks, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 2 more times. Because I like to get my cutting over with, I try my best. I'm lining up on the 5-inch line again. Now, when you line up on the 5-inch line, the bottom portion of your fabric should be also going perpendicular, right? Yeah, to this same line so that it's straight. You may not be able to see it, but right across here, this line is straight. This line is straight. So that 90-degree angle between your left and your bottom should line up. And this is, I'm gonna cut another 5 inches. I think I need a total of, I need to look at my notes. I'll check in just a second. What I do when I'm going up, especially when I'm doing it by the width of the fabric, is I'll cut a little bit. I lift my hand, place my hand down again, cut, lift my hand, place my hand down again, and cut. I have to do that because my table's a little deeper and I'm short, and it keeps me from sliding up and causing the ruler to shift. And it also helps with the fabric not shifting as well. I'm going to do one more. Now, some people, after they've done this maybe twice, maybe 3 times, they will stop and clean up this left-hand edge again. When I'm doing these types of projects and it's just for fun, I don't. Because if my bottom and my side is fine, if it's good, I'm great. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to show you one more time breaking these down into some 5-inch blocks. I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to do the same thing. I hope you can see, because I can't see you. I don't like stacking a lot of fabric, because the more you stack, in my opinion, the more you have a chance of having some crooked pieces underneath. So I usually only like to put at the most 4, even if I do have a fresh rotary cutter. Once I lay them down, I smooth it out. Not a hard smooth. You want it to be a gradual smooth to where the grains just naturally lay where they're supposed to be, if that makes any sense. And a lot of times you can even kind of just line it up just very lightly, because it will want to sit in the grooves. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to use my 2.5 by 12.5 inch ruler. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use my 9-inch because this is a thinner. So I'll take this 9-inch ruler. I will align this bottom line across, all the way across. And now I need to get my salvage off of here. So this is the salvage end. My ruler's in place, and now, pardon me, I'm going to cut a clean line. And then I can cut my 5-inch squares. Line it up and cut. And I like doing it this way, especially when I know that I'm, you know, how many, when I know how many, my brain stopped, how many blocks I need, because for every cut, I'm cutting 4. So then what I do is I just stack them by 4s across the top of my board, so that when I finish, it's easy to cut, to count. Let's look at the notes. These are the notes from the Seeing Stars. I need 4 per block, and I'm making 3 blocks. Oh, that's it. Let's see. So for all 3 pinwheels, you will cut A fabric, B fabric, background fabric. I need 16. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 12. So I need 1 more. Oh, wow. Cut this. And then what I'm going to do is actually cut that one down. And this becomes enough of something for a scrap project, so I'll put it off to the side. And there are my 16. Now I'm going to show you one more option. I'm going to move these out of the way. What I do until I get to the end is I will stack them like this. Yeah, you can see all my junk right there. Okay, I stack them like this because I know that this is 4 cuts. So that I know that this is 4, 8, 12, 16. So I'll leave it stacked like this until I check off all of the fabric on my pattern. So I'll stack it like this to the side. Now this is 5 inches, but I need it to be 4.5. So now what I'm going to do is fold it in half. Now when I'm folding it in half to cut the fabric, what I do is I fold it enough so that the selvage and the fold will both be cut when I take that first cut, cleaning up this left hand side. So you fold it again, smoothing it out. And if you need to like just adjust it and write it. Now, this is one of those times where for me, I don't understand why people don't use the lines on these fancy mats that you pay all this money for. I know. Yeah. This would be a good time if you did have the mat, in my opinion, that you could use it. Especially if you were just doing 5-inch, you know, 5-inch blocks. For this one though, I'm doing 4.5. So I'm going to get my 9.5-inch ruler, lining up that bottom. And now I'm going to take off this left hand side, making sure that I catch my selvage and that I catch that crease. And I think I know I'm going to need to cut one more of these strips, but I just could go ahead and show you. And now I cut that, and actually what I need to do, because I know that this is straight, I'm not going to clean up that left hand side. What I am going to do is take this from being 5 inches to 4.5 inches, and I'm going to use my 12-inch ruler for that. I need this just to be 4.5. And even though I have waist, this is going to be okay because I have some pillows I need to work on. It's not enough to use it for anything. So there's my 4.5, and now I'm going to turn it and start cutting my 4.5s. Now I could use my little one here, but when I have these stacked this way, I like to use a bigger ruler so that it covers the whole fabric as much as possible to help me with shifting. I'm just heavy-handed, I think, but so for every cut I know I'm getting 4. So there's 4. Let me check that. Yeah. 4. That's 8. And this is some salvage. So that is it. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, let me know in the comment section. I hope that this tutorial was helpful, and I will see you all again. Take care and have a great day.